Hello, this is Morgan from AMS Software. Today I'm going to be going over the appointment scheduler that you have from AMS. To open up the scheduler, you're just going to click Calendar at the top of the AMS main menu here. And then when Calendar type opens, you can select the calendar and click OK. So from here, you're looking at the month view. It's going to highlight the current date in red here over on the side. You can see the upcoming months as well on the right. Right now it's showing the month of June. To open up the day view, I'm just going to double click on the day that I want to open. So from here, I'm looking at the day view right now. Up at the top, you can see that I have 4 columns set up. You can change the name of these as well as control how many are showing. You can also see that I have different appointments scheduled throughout the day, and I can scroll down to view the different times later in the day as well. So to start, I'm going to show you how you can customize the scheduler here. So if you go up to the top left and click on Tools, and then click on Options, you can change the start time by clicking in this box and typing in the time that you would like to start it. This is going to be either your first appointment or when maybe your staff comes into the office. You can set up whatever time as long as it starts on the hour. You can also control the day length here. So right now we have it set to 14 hours, so it's going to go from 8 a.m. until 10 p.m. at night. You can change the day length here just to set it up to the latest night that you're open. Your schedule increments is going to be what times it shows on the side here. So you can see over on the left here we have 8 o'clock to 8:15, 8:30, and 8:45. You could change this to show every 5 minutes, every 10, 20, 30 minutes. Whatever schedule increment you would like, you can just select it there. Some of the other options you have here are listed over here, so you can check to have file name on third line, which is going to help with the search that we do for finding appointments. And you can also go through these settings here and select and deselect whichever ones you would like. Okay, to save this, we're just going to click OK at the bottom. And now our options are set. So to add an appointment to your time slot, you're just going to go under the column that you would like to add it to, and you have this time slot here. I'm just going to double click on this. And from here, it's going to open up the patient file name list. So you can either start typing in the last name, or you can select a letter, and it's going to bring your appointment, or your patients that start with that letter in their last name. So I'm just going to double click on that to open up the properties for Ryan Harris. At the middle area here, you have the start time. So if I had selected the wrong date, I could click that drop down arrow there and choose a different date for the appointment. I'm going to leave it here for the 23rd. You can also change the start time as well as the end time here. In this white text box in the bottom, it's pulling in information from your patient file. So you have the name and date of birth and their patient file name. And at the bottom here, you have categories. So once you get some categories set up, which I'll show you in a few minutes, when you're scheduling appointments, you can schedule it as a certain category, and it's going to change the color of that appointment as well as book it for the appropriate time length. To save the appointment, I'm just going to come up to the top left here and click on Save and Close. And that's going to book my appointment, and it's also color-coded and set the appropriate time length for the flu shot, which is the category I selected. Okay, so next I'm going to show you how to print it. You're going to come up to File at the top left here. I'm going to click on Print, and then from here you can select the different columns that you'd want to print. If you just want to print 1 or 2, you can select the appropriate columns, or you can select All Columns List View, All Columns Column View. You can also double space it as well. If you want to do a graphical schedule, you just select the columns that you want to have printed for a graphical schedule. At the bottom here, you can choose whether you want to print the phone number or the patient number. And then over on the right, you have the start print time and end print time. Most people will print the entire day at once when they come in the morning or maybe the night before, but if you get some phone calls in and your afternoon appointments change around a little bit, you could change your times here to print from 1 p.m. until 10 p.m. and that would give you your rest of the evening and afternoon without having to print all your morning appointments. So I'm going to close out of this and we'll keep going on with the training here. You're going to come up to Edit and click on Columns, and this is where we can change the different columns that we have set up. So right now we've got these 4 columns showing up. You can select more if you would like or use less. You just change which ones are showing on the scheduler by putting a check mark in that box. If you want to change the name of one, you just highlight it and click Edit. You can click Yes on this alert, and then in here you can change the name. And then to save it, you just click OK here. And next we're going to set up the categories. So again, you just go back up to Edit and click on Categories. So you can see that we have multiple categories already set up. If we wanted to edit one, we just highlight that category and click Edit. You can change the name of it as well as the time length and the color. To save it, you're just going to hit OK on these windows. Let's go ahead and change that one back. You can also add new ones just by clicking Add at the top here and putting in the name, the length of the appointment. A lot of people use these for new patients. You can put it in for a longer appointment, and you can change the color. So you can see some of the different ones we have set up are the new patient, maybe like a follow-up appointment or recheck. A lot of people use this missed appointment category set up so that you can see which patients are a no-show or missed appointment. It's a good way to get that information so that you know who you need to call to reschedule. You can also set up appointments for like lunch or breaks as well. So a lot of people will set up a category for that for when they're out of the office or on their lunch break. So to save those, we're just going to hit OK. So you can see that we've got these different appointments set up with different categories here. They're color-coded and set the appropriate time length. If I wanted to change the appointment category that we set for Ryan, I'm just going to right-click on this appointment and click on Category. And then from here you get the drop-down list of categories, and I'm just going to change it here to our other category. And you can see that it changed the time length of the appointment since we have sports physical set up as a 30-minute appointment. And let's say that he misses his appointment. I'm going to go ahead and go to Category and then change it to Missed Appointment. So you can very easily change the category here. Next I'm going to go up to View and show you the column totals. This is going to open up your scheduler statistics here. Over on the left under Column, you have the different columns that you have appointments scheduled in. So if I want to receive the list of patients for that person, I can just click the column there and I get the list of patients as well as the lunch appointment is showing here. A lot of people use this to compare to billing or see how many appointments that they have scheduled for that day. Over on the right here you have Category, so this is going to show the different categories that we have scheduled. So you can click on these two, and if you want a list of the patients for that category, you just click on it and it'll give you this list here. So you can also print this as well. This is a great way to get the information for new patients if you need to send follow-up or to reschedule those missed appointments. You can also select a date range for that rather than just looking at the day by closing out of the day view by clicking the X at the top right. And now that I'm looking at the month view again, I'm just going to come up to View and click on Column Totals. So here it's going to ask you for the date range. You can select which days you'd like to see. Right now it's just going to show for the entire month of June. I'm just going to hit OK, and then it brings up the statistics here again. So it's going to show it for the entire month. And you can choose the different columns and the different categories and get the list there as well. I'm going to double click on the date to open up the day view again. And next I'm going to show you how to get to the week view. To get there, you go up to View and click on Entire Week. And this is going to show you all the columns for Monday through Friday. It's a great way to see when you have openings for the entire week if you're trying to schedule appointments, as well as just to see when you have some time to take a few minutes off or want to see when you've got time free. It's very easy to switch it back and forth. To go back to the view we were using, you just click on View and click on Single Day, and that takes you back to this view. Next thing I'm going to show you is under Tools. You can click on Available Times. This is going to show you all the time slots that you have available for this day under this column. So you can change the column that you'd like to see, as well as set up the time slot length. So if you need a 30-minute appointment, you can just see when you have those time slots available. You can use the arrows at the side to change through the days. You can also view this from the week view. So if you can come back to View and click on Entire Week, you can come up to Tools again and click on Available Times, and it's going to show you for the entire week for the column that you have selected. I'm going to change it back to Single Day here. Next we're going to right click on an appointment and show you the drop down menu here. At the top here you have Category, so if you wanted to change the category you just select which one you would like to use. The next thing is the Send Reminder. This is one of the newer features we're offering. You can send text and email reminders to your patients, reminding them of the appointment that they have scheduled. If you'd like more information about this, we can get in touch with you and send it out. But basically you can send out an individual reminder, or you can send it to everybody on your schedule all at once. You can select whether you want a text message, email, or both. The sender information will pull in from the settings once we get this set up for you. And then it's going to have the recipient information as well as the subject and a message at the bottom. The standard message is going to include their name, your office name, and the time and date of their appointment. You can also add a message addition if you would like to customize the text or email reminder. If you wanted to include a phone number for them to call to reschedule or any other personalized message, you could do that as well. So this is to send an individual one. If you wanted to send all of them at once, you would come up to Tools and click Send All Reminders. It would come up with everybody that you have scheduled for the day. If there was anybody you didn't want to send it to, you would just click on that name and use the arrows to move it to the Don't Send Reminders To column. And that would send the reminders all at once if you do choose to get this set up. The next thing we have on this drop-down menu here is the recurrence. So I'm going to click on that and it opens up your appointment recurrence window. You can choose the time that you want to schedule these recurring appointments, as well as if it's going to be weekly or monthly. On weekly, you can set it up to recur every week or every 2 or 3. You can also select the days that you want it to schedule. You could choose monthly if you wanted and choose either a date or a day of the week. We're going to stick with month or weekly here, and at the bottom here you have end by, so you can either do after so many occurrences, or you can do an end by date if you wanted to schedule it through a certain time. And we're just going to click OK here. So now if we come to next Wednesday, you can see that that appointment's already been scheduled there. It's going to show for all the upcoming appointments that we have booked. If I wanted to delete that upcoming appointment or all the other appointments that we have scheduled for the future, I'm just going to click Delete Recurrence, and that would delete the appointment that you have selected as well as all future ones. From this menu, you can also print the encounter form if you have one, as well as find appointments. If you click on this, It is going to bring up a list of all the appointments that they have scheduled in the past as well as the future. And a lot of people use this to print out and give to their patients when they're checking out if they want to know when their upcoming appointments are, as well as using it for billing just to see what days they were in. You can print this out for yourself or for your patients. It's going to close out of the day view so that it can search the entire calendar, but you can simply just double click on the date and open up the day view again. So I'm going to right click on this appointment again. From here you can open up the patient file. We just have a demo one, so it doesn't have a patient file set up here. You can also open up the charges file and notes if you have a notes program set up, as well as delete the appointment. If you want to double book an appointment, say you have people coming in from the same family, same time slot, this tan area to the right of the appointment but before the column break, you would just double click on that area there and you could add in another patient. I'm just going to double click that name and click Save at the top here. It's going to let you know that it's conflicting with a scheduled item. If you wish to continue, just hit Yes. And now you can see that I have this appointment double booked. One of the other features we have is the availability to add notes to your scheduler. So this dark gray bar at the top, I'm just going to double click it under the column I want selected. I'm going to close out of the patient file name list so that it's not tied to a patient. And down in the text box here in the bottom half, I'm just going to type a note. So if you want to put in information about a day you're closed, somebody's out of the office, or your hours might be different, you can just put a note there. Click Save, and it's going to show at the top there. You can see even as I scroll throughout the day, it's still showing at the top. It's also going to show on your week view. So I'm going to come to View and click on Entire Week, and that message is still showing there. I'm going to go back to Single Day. You can also view it on the month view by closing out of the day view here, and you can see that it's showing at the month view here. So I'm just going to open this up again, and I think that about concludes everything. Again, you can come up to File and you have your print option here. If you come up to Edit, you can do your columns or your categories at the bottom, and that's just changing the columns that you have set up and adding or editing different categories. From View, you can view the column totals, which opens up your statistics, as well as change it to the entire week view. Under Tools, you have the available times, as well as your options. And by right-clicking on an appointment, we have the category, the reminders, which is the extra feature that you can add, the recurrence, which is scheduling reoccurring appointments, where you can delete the recurrence, where you can print the encounter forms, find appointments for their past and future appointments, and open up their patient, charges, and notes, as well as delete the appointment.